You need to try and pick off the units as. Look at the shields on the mark.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna take him!
What is up? Welcome to another game here for the IPL Season 2. This time, we take it down to the losers round 1, where competitors battle it out to stay alive here in Season 2 of the IPL. I'm DJ Wheat from OneMoreGame.tv, and we have got ourselves a matchup. DarKFoRcE, our Zerg player, versus DDE, our Terran. Let's check out where our players have spawned. We have DarKFoRcE, our red Zerg, spawning in the southwest, and here on Crossfire, he will be going up against 6jax DDE, spawning as the blue Terran in the northeast. Two very, very good players about to go head-to-head in probably one of my favorite matchups, that, of course, being the Zerg taking on the Terran. I can't really tell you why I like this matchup so much. No, I'm lying. I know exactly why I like this matchup so much, because I like to see things blow up. And whether that be Marines blowing up from Banelings, or whether it be things blowing up from siege tanks, you know, I just like to see things blow up. What else do you want me to say? We've got the racks going down here for DDE, and DDE is one of these players that, in my opinion, has really, really, really been impressing lately. Not quite the North American name that I know he wants to be, but he's working on it, and I think he's been posting some great results. Victory over Idra about a month ago. Really, really solid gameplay coming out of him, and besting Idra, another Zerg, and probably North America's best Zerg right now. DarKFoRcE, however, hailing from Europe, and I would try to say the country, but I know I'm going to get it wrong. But DarKFoRcE here, another player who is on the same team as Saki. He is a team alternate and a very, very impressive player as of late. Haven't seen a ton of him so much on the international circuits. We didn't see him in the last IPL. But here now making a debut and going up against a very, very good Terran, DDE. So excited to see how this one is going to play out. We got the pool gas down, but of course that came after the hatchery here for DarKFoRcE. Well, we have the rack spitting out some Marines. First one going to make his way down, possibly take a tower. And we could talk a little bit as well. Hold on, we got the factory going down for DDE, so we'll see what kind of add-on we get on the racks here, and then we'll know exactly what the Terran's going to be going for. Covering the middle is going to be very important. We do have, well, this SCV is still here. I can't imagine off of one rack that he's going to want to do a ton of pressure, but if he manages to, say, catch a Zerg off guard here when the first 4 Zerglings are coming out, and we've got the SCV in. The second hatchery is up, however. Wow, this Marine from DDE, he might get a bravery award for going in. Now, the Zerglings are immediately going to go after that Marine because he knows that he's got at least one buddy coming with him. And right now, I'm not sure that he has any vision of the front. He only knows that there's the one rack. And with 2 Marines, we will see the first pair of Zerglings go down. So the Queen is making out the natural. These Marines aren't going to be able to take this hatchery out before he's got enough links to be able to deal with this. But do we have another Marine on the way? It doesn't look like it, and this force is wisely going to move back. It's a very, very smart move, as more lings will come out, and did force just a little bit here out of DarKFoRcE. Enough lings that could have been 3 drones. Going to throw down the spine crawler. And now we will see DarKFoRcE making his way out. Speed halfway done, but let's check what we got. So here we've got the Hellions coming out, and a reactor was built on that barracks, lifted up, and then, of course, the factory came down. Going to complete this wall here with another supply depot. So we'll have the first Hellions coming out, and versus these slow lings, obviously going to be a very, very beastie opponent. However, speed should be finishing 2. You need numbers, however. You can't go up 6 lings versus 2 Hellions. So Hellions here can control the map, and they can do damage. 2 very important aspects that you want to consider as a Terran. And now we're going to see Cloak going down, which means the Banshees are going to be coming out. Let's take a quick peek inside. There we see the Tech Lab down on the starport, and the first Banshee should be coming out soon. Now he's going to time this in such a way that Cloak will be finishing up, and then he'll be able to get even a second Banshee. The first Banshee will already be doing some damage. So the Hellions have come in, but the spine crawler is sitting there. good defense for the Zerg. Not going to be able to kill the Hellions necessarily, but since he's got enough links here, should be able to clean it up. He's going to go ahead and advance forward, and maybe it's because he saw the other two Hellions come in, but he did back off. Looked like he might be able to get a surround and pick off both of those Hellions. Meanwhile, Overlord did try to make his way in. Of course, we have the two Marines checking that out. Hellions, they really, really want to peek. Going to come back around, see if they can't possibly slip into the main, which might be an interesting little tactic here from DDE. Of course, don't forget that these Hellions, right now, DarKFoRcE is worried about the Hellions. Does not currently know and doesn't really have the Overlord placement to know that this Banshee is on its way right now. So, no. Oh, is he going to see it with this tower? I don't know if he did see it with that tower. He does have a Spore Crawler there, so it does look like he's going to have some sort of idea that it was going on. And the Hellions just sitting over on the side. The Zerg are going to go in for an attack. He will go ahead. Oh, he surrounds one, but he gives up his position. He still manages to take it out, but now that he knows that the Banshee's here, he's going to have to bring both of his queens. Now, I don't think that DDE has shown yet that he has Cloak, so he's going to move in. The lair is finished up, and now we're going to have... Oh, there's a Spore Crawler there, so it's not going to matter. He can get just out of range of that, though. Try to take out one of those queens. He's going to have to get closer. They might be able to take out this Banshee if he's not careful, and the Spore Crawler does finish him off. Hellions will retreat back, take over the tower, and now we have another Banshee coming out. Now, there are a couple of nice spots he could hit. Right over here would be good. He is within range of that Spore Crawler, so for DarKFoRcE, a really good placement here. So far, the Banshees have not really done a whole lot of damage, and meanwhile, back at the base, we do have another Rax coming out, with more Banshees are coming out. A little surprising now, of course, the Overseer is out. We have more Lings on the way, and he's really not concerned at this point with the threat of these Banshees. He's got the Spore Crawlers up. And we have another Banshee heading out right now. This one going down to the side, possibly get SCV repaired, but we'll see what these Banshees are going to do. I'm not really sure what his goal is, but we'll find out soon enough. DarKFoRcE going to be patting himself with a few Overlords. There we have, once again, this time we see the Banshee finding that sweet spot. Now remember, the range of the Spore Crawler's vision, of course, and the Overseer comes over, so it won't really matter. He just gets out of there. Ling's going to now head on out and start to get a little bit more control back of the map. Quick reaction coming out by DDE as he moves those Hellions away. And is he actually going to dart forward for an attack? Doesn't look like it. But just now, DDE getting down his second base. A lot of energy on that orbital. Not that much energy, I guess. Well, he just drops the mules. But siege tanks are out, sieged up. Lings around the map. But where's he going from here? Spire's about done. And the Baneling nest also going down. Pretty late, but it is going to be going down. Overlord does see what's going on here, that DDE does have the second base back up. And as far as the production is concerned, just now putting down his third Rax and the engineering bay going up. So sort of going away from that Banshee tech, which of course was costing him a little bit, and now going to go to more upgrade tech on his bio and then getting these siege tanks out. He did get a Viking out from his starport, and I assume he's going to do a little bit of Overlord hunting with that. Not sure if we might have had another Banshee go down, but I do like the placement of this Banshee by DDE, denying the third from the Zerg if a drone were to come into play. And he might have to move over there. We're going to have the first Muta coming down, and he will be able to chase down and kill that Banshee, especially since he sent him south. He's going to cloak up, but here comes that Overseer, and he's going to be able to get away. Second Muta's coming, and this Banshee is a dead Banshee. There it is. 3 more Mutas out on the field. And I'm a little surprised that DDE hasn't tried to take a presence outside here at his natural, but maybe he's just not comfortable enough. His tank count not that high. We got more Hellions moving out. I don't know. I thought he had a third tank up there. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's down there. So the Mutas are going to move out, and the Mutas will take out these Hellions. With 2 more Mutas on the way. Baneling speed coming out. These Hellions will fall. There, the Lings will finally pick them up. And now there is going to be this threat of mutas that DDE is going to have to worry about. He has responded by putting down 2 missile turrets right there in his natural and 1 there in his main. Either way, he might have a few on the perimeter. Does have 1 on the inside. Always good to protect your production buildings at some point, because that'll be a major focal point of the Zerg with these mutas if he can get a high enough number. They have 1 Marine heading out. He'll take out that Ling. But the muta pack on their way. We will have to get a response, and here we now have DDE moving out. Maybe he just did not want to show what he actually had. How many mutas? Just about 6 mutas. There are definitely 6 banelings, I mean. 7 banelings now morphing in. More coming, waiting for the gas. There's the scan. And here comes this force. It's all going to be about attacking before the siege. And there's the siege. Banelings are going to go in. Banelings hit a very, very minimal amount of Marines. But more importantly, we will see the mutas get rid of all the tanks. The Marine numbers do go down pretty significantly. And there are more Banelings and Zerglings in the back here. The third base has gone down for DarKFoRcE. And he is left over with quite a good supply here. And he did not lose a single muta in that engagement. 117 to supply to 104 for DDE. He thinks he's going to be ready this time around, but I think he might be mistaken. I feel like DarKFoRcE definitely has a fair number of mutas to be able to engage this. As long as the Banelings take out just a few of these Marines, they'll be less of a threat, and they can finish everything off. And we will have the Zerglings come forward again. The siege tanks are not sieged up. They'll come in, get taken out by the mutas, and now the Marines are spread out far enough that the mutas will easily be able to clean them up. Even going to get a few medevacs here in this attack. 1 go down. 2 go down, and how do you recover from that? Oh, huge hit. Caught perfectly on the camera. All that's left is that green acid that used to be a Marine. They just melt. It's pretty nasty. So now DDE's left with, taking a look at the unit tab, 1 tank, and even if DarKFoRcE wanted to move in and attack, I think he could right here. Going into the back, trying to do a little harass here on the Terran, knowing that he doesn't have a whole lot to defend with. Has 2 different groups out here getting a few more. No more Banelings coming out. But +1 attack. I'm surprised he didn't start that a little bit earlier. But that third base did go up late. And more mutas joining in on the fray. 26 Lings on the way. Command center going to try to go over to the third. And that Zergling pair will spot the command center. That will, of course, make the mutas move out here. And here come the mutas going to go right in. See that there's a few Marines there, but there's not. He could have taken on that little group. There's the scan to see if his entire army is there. And DDE is going to get the information that it's just the mutas. In comes the command center, but he'll still have to deal with those pair of Zerglings. More Banelings on the way. And the Ling's going to take care of a few things here as the gold goes down. So we take a little bit of a breather here, but I can't help but think that DarKFoRcE is not wildly ahead right now. In supply, he's sitting at 160. DDE at 117. And you imagine if he would have had some of the other armies that he lost completely to Zerg player DarKFoRcE, he'd be in a much better spot. And oh my gosh, some tanks and SCVs being caught off the line. A few mutas are sacrificed, but any tank that can be taken out is going to be a worthy victory here for DarKFoRcE. DDE really hurting right now. We're going to wait for this planetary to come in. 1 more muta does go down. Tries to snipe a second one. And in come the Lings from the back. Not sieged up. Tank will go down. Mutas will engage, but more or less just to keep them there. Trying to get the Banelings up. And DDE is going to say GG as he realizes that he cannot win. And game number 1 does go to DarKFoRcE, our Zerg player, in what was kind of a romp. He stopped those Banshees really nice. He stopped the Hellion harass with the very, very minimal amount of units that he had. Didn't get a huge reaction coming out by DarKFoRcE, so DDE doesn't really benefit from those early moves in the game, and unfortunately just takes some huge losses at some mid-game battles, allowing DarKFoRcE to take game number 1. Coming up soon, game number 2. I'm DJ Wheat, and I'll be back with more IPL Season 2 Losers Round 1.